Swanson. I'm the chairman of the board here at Kickoff Christian Schools, and I want to welcome you and thank you all for being here. And I'd like to open us up first with a word of prayer. Father, I thank you so much for the dedicated people in this room, willing to put in their time and efforts to see your school, your ministry, go to a new level, to impact our community and the communities across the country and hopefully around the globe. We've got a lot of work to do, but we're very excited about seeing your hand in our school, making things happen, leading. We continue to pray for discernment and wisdom in decision making, and I pray that we'll all come together with our best efforts. We thank you so much, Lord, for your many blessings and faithfulness to this school, and especially for your son, Jesus. And it is in his name we pray. Amen. Amen. I'd like to bring up Karen Winter, for those of us on the board, also known as the wind beneath our wings. Karen has come on board and, like a meteor out of the sky, singed us, pushed us along, but she is doing amazing things. We appreciate her energy and her focus. She's a godly woman with a very true understanding of what a successful Christian school looks like. And we're just so thankful to have her here. So Karen, come on.
Well, I just want to say on behalf of our administrative team and the board and our faculty here, thank you so much for being willing to participate in this strategic plan process. We know that having our school pulled together and looking at the vision takes a lot of people, and we are just so thankful that you're willing to help us go through this process, because wisdom is in the minds of a lot of people, not just a few. So thank you so much. We know that this represents a lot of dedication in this room. You're not the only people that are dedicated. We have a whole school full, but you represent some of the finest of TCS, and we thank you so much for your commitment. We thank you for your godly examples and your willingness to help us go through this process. Jeremiah 29:11 and 12 talks about, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a purpose." And we have clung to that for many years, and we are excited about the future vision. And I'd like to say that that future vision is just so easy. It comes without any effort. How many times do you tell your child, go back and do it again? It is going to take more effort. It's hard work, it's pressing on. But when we do that together, we accomplish great things for God. And we have seen that as we have pulled together and worked really diligently this year, Colossians 3:23, doing all for the glory of God, that our students have come and they have met that and they have excelled. And we're excited because that's what we want to do through this strategic plan process. We want to do everything to bring glory and honor to Christ. We want to do everything with excellence. And we are admitting before you that we haven't arrived. We want to, in every one of these areas, to improve. We want to do our very best to shine for Christ, to do our very best for you as parents, for you as the board, for you as faculty. We want to do better. We are going to do better, and we have committed to do better. That's why all of the board are involved in this process, all of the administrative team are involved in this process, and many of the faculty, because we are committed to do that. And I want you to know that that is our priority. Therefore, also, we have committed financially in bringing a fantastic consultant who worked with our school last year, who has over 35 years of experience in Christian school leading, not only as a consultant, but also leading great, fine Christian schools. Westminster Christian School, you may not know, but it is one of the top Christian schools in the United States, and Jim Marsh has been the leader of that school for many, many years. So please welcome Jim Marsh, our consultant.
Schools who this work? Okay. Well, I come to you really not so much as a consultant. I'm a practitioner. I've been a part of Christian education literally my entire life. I grew up in New Jersey, right outside of New York City, and I went to a Christian school. My parents sent me to Eastern Christian in the kindergarten. After I graduated from Eastern Christian, I went to Calvin College, a Christian college. After that, I served 4 different Christian schools, one in Michigan, 2 in Florida, and then the past 20 years at Westminster Christian Academy in St. Louis. I stepped down as the head of school August 1 of this year. And I thought to myself, when it was time for school to open again, you know, I have been getting up and going to the first day of school at a Christian school for the past 61 years. That tells you how old I am. But when I say Christian education has been my life, it has been my life. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm one of those people who believe that I did during my career, and I'm still doing it. I don't use the R word, the retired word. I'm just in a new chapter, a new journey. But I just am privileged in being called to do the work that I believe God put me on the earth to do, and that is to be a part of a Christian school community and serve the cause of the kingdom by bringing the truth to the next generation. He tells us that in Psalm 78. Tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, so that they might tell their children and the children yet to be born. Well, I'm one of those people. I've seen it work. My wife and I went to Eastern Christian school. Our 3 kids went to Westminster Christian Academy, a Christian school, and now I have grandkids, the 3rd generation in a Christian school. So from one generation to the next. So I come to you as that kind of a person, someone who has given his life to Christian education and still is doing that, and someone who has been blessed by it immensely because of what I have seen and in my own faith and how God has used it. So I'm grateful to be here tonight to just share this evening with you, and really the purpose of this evening. You know, Karen has done, and all of you have done just such a great job of preparing to plan, of getting everything in place so that you can now begin to build this roadmap for Turlock Christian School and pursue the vision and the plans that you believe God has for Turlock. So everything is set and ready to go. And the purpose of this kickoff is really just to come together and to recognize the fact that you're all in this together, that God has called you to take part in this process. And to just step back a little bit and think and dream and be challenged by what lies ahead, the opportunity that God will provide through this process to really help Turlock pursue its future. So hopefully you leave tonight after we spend an hour and a half or so feeling excited and enthused about the process. As Karen said, it takes work. But I think in this process, it's not a long one. Hopefully in 3 months, your work will be finished and this roadmap will be established. But you will have been a part of it, and that will be a blessing. So I'm just gonna share some things about strategic planning. I have some things to show that hopefully will inspire us about why this is so important, why your board and leadership have chosen to engage in this process right now. So strategic planning, what is it? It's a systematic process of envisioning a desired future and translating this vision into broadly defined goals or objectives in a sequence of steps to achieve them. And really this is the key. First of all, it's a systematic process. A strategic plan is not an event. You don't finish it when the final document is written and approved. It's a journey. It's a roadmap that brings you from where you are today to where you believe God would have you to be. So it's a process of envisioning a desired future and then establishing goals and objectives and a sequence of steps to achieve them. I think that one of the pitfalls of strategic planning sometimes is a document or a plan that becomes a great-looking document with some really good stuff in it, but if it's put on the shelf, it is meaningless. And I think that's the key, and that's really why this process, that your leadership has chosen this process, to involve so many key leaders in the Turlock community in that process. Because at the end of the day, when this roadmap for Turlock Christian School has been established, and you have been a part of it, it will then be a process and a roadmap that you have ownership of. This is your plan. It's not one person. It's not a consultant. It's the Turlock Christian School community, teachers and administrators, board members and parents, and people who love Turlock Christian School. This will be your roadmap, and all of you will have been a part of it, and that's why this process is so important. So where do we want to go? What are the key strategic issues confronting Turlock Christian School? There'll be a lot of questions, and we're not going to answer them tonight. But just to spend a few minutes tonight, as some of these questions pop up onto the screen. What are the key strategic issues? And you might want to take a note or two and jot some things down. But that's really what this process is about. Strategic priorities for Turlock Christian School for the next 3 to 5 years. What are those issues? Is our mission and vision what we want and need them to be? Do you know who you are? Because that's what a mission statement states. Who you are and whom you serve. Have you defined your identity? You feel confident of your identity moving forward. Is our mission and vision what we want and need them to be? What is our vision for success for the future? Have you defined that? What will success look like 3 to 5 years from now for Turlock Christian School? What's your picture of success for your school? And 4, what measures should we put in place to track the success of our planning efforts? In other words, how will we know we have been successful in achieving the vision that we believe God has for Turlock the next 3 to 5 years, during the next 3 to 5 years? So these are some key questions that should frame this process. What are the key issues? Are we rock solid sure of our mission and vision? Have we defined success, and how are we going to know that we got there? 2 is really crucial. Jim Collins, in his book, Built to Last, where he studied companies that stood the test of time, that were successful over a period of years. And one of the characteristics of these successful companies was this, that they held on to their core values with a tight grip. Those are non-negotiable. We're not going to change ever. But then those same companies were willing to change everything else. But the non-negotiables, the mission, the vision, what's at the heart of things, is your mission and vision today what it will be 5 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now for Turlock Christian School? That's a key question as well. Create our vision for the future. What do you hope, and pray will be accomplished during this process during the next 2-3 months, and then as the strategic plan is implemented. First of all, a discovery of what you appreciate the most. What is the best about Turlock Christian School? When someone asks you that question, how do you answer it? What do you love the most? And dream. This is what I would really encourage, especially as you begin this process, and even tonight, to dream. Envision what might be. I was here in May with my friend and partner, Zach Clark, and we spent a day here. And then I was here again today and talked to some of the administrative leaders at Turlock Christian School. It's an amazing change for me, from the perspective of 5, 6, 7 months, whatever it is, to see what God has done in that short period of time, how He's answered prayer and led your school. You can dream. You can dream. You know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago, things didn't seem the way they do today. But prayers were answered, and we know that God is a great God and can do great things. So dream big dreams. Okay, design. Determine what should be. That's what you'll do in the work of your committees. You'll be in the design phase. You'll determine what steps, what goals, what objectives, what initiatives will bring you to where you want to be in spiritual leadership, academic excellence, and all the different committees that have been formed and are a part of this process. And then implement. Actually do it. Actually put these goals and initiatives in place so that, and act on them so that you can experience what can be. So discover, dream, design, and implement. The core aspects of what makes strategic planning work and effective. Goals, strategies, and initiatives. This is what you will do again in your committees. This is the work of the committees in terms of putting together plans and recommendations that will help bring you forward. Identify goals, the overarching achievements that will accomplish the vision. Determine strategies or the various ways that we will achieve each goal. How are we going to get there? There will be that kind of, there will be specific steps that you will recommend that, that will achieve the goal. You will establish the goal, but you will also recommend some steps that will achieve the goal. And then chart the initiatives or the, there we go. Chart the initiatives. That's not going to work. I'll send you that one. But what number 3 is saying is that you chart them and you hold yourselves accountable to complete them, and you put plans in place for how and when those goals and initiatives will be worked on at your school. So those are the key elements as well of a strategic plan. Establishing the goals, defining the initiatives that will fulfill those goals, and then holding yourselves accountable along the way to actually fulfill them. Okay, that's kind of the technical side of strategic planning. That's what it's all about. But in simple terms, really, it's building a roadmap. It's building a roadmap to help you know how to get from where you are to where you want to be. In the case of a Christian school, from where you are to where you believe God is leading you to be. That is what, this process is all about, a roadmap. And I remember the first strategic plan that we established at Westminster Christian Academy. It was in 1989. I came to Westminster in 1985. I was a young head of school. It was Westminster's 9th year. the school struggling for its identity, really struggling for survival at the time. We were broke and going in further into debt every year. We covered 60% of our operations budget with tuition and fees, had to raise the other 40%, and that was not working. We had taken a step of faith and purchased a building that was way too big and was 1/3 full with the 350 kids that we had enrolled at the time. And we started thinking and praying, but even acting on what we believed was a step too far, that we had extended ourselves as a school too far. So we started thinking about selling the campus and downsizing. That looked like a solution. Thankfully, God restrained us from that, and we didn't do that. Actually did meet with developers and think seriously about putting it on the market. We had one meeting where we actually wondered if we were going to be able to open the doors in the next for the next school year. So it was a difficult time. So we had a board meeting, and we decided, we need a plan. We need some direction. We need some sort of a roadmap to help us get from where we are, about ready to go under,